Sore band members, the drummer. Joining us this morning, Bambi Gusti. Good morning, Bambi.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you today?
Yeah, thank you for having us too.
Yeah, so Bambi,
Yes.
this latest song, Rosa, could you please tell us a little bit about Rosa? How did this song come about? What is it about? What is the inspiration?
Well, actually, this is Ade Palo Songs who wrote it. Suddenly, after watching Get Back from Beatles,
Documentary.
he got the documentary. He really got inspired a lot. He wrote, I think, about 8 or 7 songs suddenly, and then for me as a producer, I just said to him, let's record all of the songs. So one of them are Rosa, and Rosa means it's a Portuguese, Portuguese for rose. And rose actually is an anagram of sorry.
Okay. So it's all
Something
related.
like that, yeah.
Right, so what's the
Yeah,
story of
so-
Rosa then?
He told me that it's about life, or you could say we sometimes or always mask ourselves in front of the people. Sometimes we mask ourselves like happy or something or, but in our heart we're sad, something like that lah. So it's like a masquerade, or it's something like that lah, in life, in social media actually.
Okay.
Okay, elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bambi,
Yes.
Mambi. He's really cute though, seriously, I like his face.
I thought you were going to ask him a question.
I am about to ask him a question, but seriously, you remind me of my high school friend, seriously.
I'm just distracted.
No, seriously.
Oh my God, should I just ask the question then?
No, it's okay,
Or maybe
I'll
I
ask
am
a
your
question.
high school friend.
Okay. Now, I know that, making music is really hard, right? Let alone to produce one. So making music in this, current era that we're having right now. So how has the music industry itself changed in,
Or
evolved?
evolved, yeah.
Yeah, specifically in Indonesia itself.
Well, most musicians nowadays, because of pandemics, they changed their working attitude to produce the songs. Because, we cannot perform at this pandemic era. So the thing that we can do is writing music and record the music and produce the music, or making a content. That's, I think, what we only can do in this time. So for musicians who really get involved in the music creativity, I think it's one of our golden days.
Right.
Yeah, because we are really concentrating for writing music and producing music.
Okay.
We really focus on that.
Okay.
Right, so how do you think has the digital era transformed music making? Can you share us the comparison between music making back then to music making now? What are the pluses, what are the minuses between the two eras?
Well, the plus is everybody now can produce a music, or can record a music. A person who probably with less skill in music can make a music on their own in their bedroom. Well, for me personally, I think that's a good thing, because in the 20 years ago, you must have a big budget for recording one song. And it costs a lot, and it costs time too, but for now, you can write a whole music for one day.
Okay.
Yeah, but the minus is, I think the minus is, yeah, we have less, apa ya, not skill, yeah. I mean, it used our crafting, yeah, probably the crafting style is become different
Right.
because in the old days we must, so for example, for an orchestra, we must write ourselves with a paper and pen
Right.
for a piece. But now you just can put everything in the MIDI and then the notes comes out by itself. So something like that, yeah.
Okay, so I know that you know, since he is also a producer, right? So I definitely know he's not going to produce me anytime soon because I'm really bad.
Really?
I'm really bad in
Maybe
you
I
know,
want to produce you.
singing. Seriously, I'm really bad. I don't know why. But anyway, I know that you can sing, Marissa. Okay, you've got a very beautiful.
Nyanyi kamar mandi, singing in the bathroom.
Now, speaking of you know, singing, which is related to music, how important is this National Music Day just for you?
Well, for me, because it's very, very important for me because musicians really got ridiculed in the old days. Yeah,
Right.
in the old days, our parents. Well, alhamdulillah, it's not my parent, but most parents, if they heard their children want to be a musician. What do you want to eat for in the future? Something like that.
Yes.
Seniman, mau makan apa?
Yes.
As we say in Indonesian.
Yeah. Where can you get the money from making music? Something like that. Yeah. So with this, our National Music Day, so it really tells everyone that music is an important thing in our country. Something like that. So musician is a really, really a professional job with good money too.
Yeah. Especially when you compose.
Everything. You can make a living with perform, teaching, or anything. You can perform. It depends on yourself as professionally, I think.
Yeah, I strongly believe that. As long as you know, you put your mind to it and then you go all out for it.
All out.
Yeah, and then I'm sure you can actually succeed. But for me, not for singing. But anyway, continue.
Absolutely for Bambi, because you know Bambi not only produces, he also plays, and he also composed music for, you know, it's not only for albums but also for movies. I know that because he composes a lot of music for one of the for films of one of the best Indonesian film directors in Indonesia, Joko Anwar. So I would like to still talk about the technicalities of music, Bambi, because me, as someone who enjoys music, I don't know why, but in recent years, I listen more to old songs, like back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s. For me, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel that music back then, there were more options that still focused on the art itself, on the craft itself. Now I don't engage so much, or it's hard for me to find songs that I like nowadays because they're overproduced. Either they're auto-tuned or too technical, too digital, so that you lose that humanness about music. What's your take on this? What's your opinion or your views on this?
Well, my opinion is there's two theory on this. One, some theories said that all creativity stopped at 90s. After 2000, it becomes remake or return to the 2 decades before or 3 decades before. Not only in music, but in fashion or the films or everything else in art. It really takes on the vintage. So music itself, it's the same. For me, after 90s and then in the 2000s, everything becomes repeating again from the 60s, 70s. I don't know. There's nothing new for me personally in the 2000s.
Okay.
Different like in the 60s, in the 60s and in the 70s, for example, for rock, in the 60s for basic rock, and then in the 70s there is the hard rock, and then in the 80s there's a heavy metal, and then in the 90s there's grunge. But after 90s and in the 2000, it's repeating again. It's a hip metal, and then the pop punk.
Yeah.
It's repeating again. I don't know why. And the second theory is, it says, well, it's kind of ironically, people in the late in their age, like late 20s or 30s, will stop their taste to the new music, something like that.
Maybe, right? Right.
Yeah. So they're listening to in their youth times.
Right. So do you think there is a
Something like
shift
that.
in craftsmanship or not? Or is it just my feeling? The fact that there's less craftsmanship now, as the majority, not
Well,
all.
it depends, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's like I think it's same like a social media, yeah. In social media, we can communicate a lot. People get influenced a lot, but it's like a two-edged sword. In the other side is people getting like the netizen. You know, Indonesian netizen like what?
Yeah.
So it's two different sides you can take from that. I think. For me personally, I really embrace the new technology. Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Now,
But people, yeah.
Bambi, you did.
Okay.
Marissa, you did actually mention about you're really into old music
Old
like
music.
50s, 60s.
The disco. to the
There you go.
70s.
Shake it off. Okay. So for me, I'm sticking with old love songs from like the 70s, 80s, and my mom's area.
My endless love.
I know, or like Diana Ross, love, something like that. But anyway, speaking of music, which is related to albums, of course. Now, talking about albums of this Sore album, when will the next album of Sore be released? Soon enough?
Well, hopefully this year, after Idul Fitri, probably
okay.
June or July.
So somewhere in June or July.
Let's hope. Probably that.
So
at that
it's
time.
still on process right now.
Yeah. So we're still producing and keep recording till now.
Okay.
What is the theme of the album? And probably if you can spill us the secret.
Well,
What is the title of the album?
probably the title is Sore Que Vadis in Spanish. It's something like, so after this, where do you go, Sore? Gitu.
Oh, Sore Que Fadis.
Something like
Okay.
that.
Yes, okay. So what is the theme of the album?
We still discuss it about it. We're not decided yet. So we're still deciding everything about the design or the everything else. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Now, I know that it has almost remarked 17 years since, Sore's debut itself. And I just listened to, Marissa actually just listened to your new single, Rosa.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit, we can say a little bit different, if I'm allowed to say that. It's more groovy. So do you, personally, guys, Marissa and also Bambi yourself, no, just to Bambi, add some shade to that grooviness or not?
Yeah. Yeah, because well, for me personally, who member of the story, we as the musician who in the band want to get evolved and want to try something different on and on. Yeah.
Right.
So actually, the Latin music or the Portuguese music is one of our core, two of our core music. So we want to try to put the element of the Latin and the Portuguese
Nice.
music in our single. something like that.
That's cool. So one last question, Bambi. How will you or
Yes.
Sore or you and Sore celebrate the National Music Day today?
By saying Alhamdulillah.
Ah, good one. Praising the Lord. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. First of all, say that first.
Yes, obviously, yes.
And then,
And then, yeah, everybody has their own style for celebrating. For us,
Yeah.
it's making our best music and producing our records with our own self.
yes.
What is it? Subjectivity, something like that.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Bambi Gusi, the producer of Sore and also the drummer of Sore, all-around musician. Have a lovely day and happy National Music Day.
Bye,
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bam.
Bye.
Thank
You're
you very much.
around.
Bye.
Bye.